Hi, in this video we are going to continue the creation of the one-page website web application. This is a list of suggestions how you should use this video. The notes for this video can be found at this URL, which is loaded here. Alright, let's continue. Make sure our IIS is running. IIS server is running. And the application is loaded, so we'll just continue from where we stopped. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the interest rate can only be from 1 to 20. Okay, you don't want people to take up too high interest, so you want the interest rate to be from 1 to 20. And to do that, you can write the code, or you can just use the range validator here under validation in the toolbox, range validator. So you want the text to appear here, so you drag the range validator to the same location here. Okay, you can drag it before or you can drag it after. It's the same, so I just drag it after. Alright, after you drag it after, you need to change a couple of things. Okay, so let's come down here. First thing is to change the display to dynamic, and then change the error message to interest rate must be from 1 to 20. Okay, and then change the color. Change the font color to red. So this is red, I think, or this is red. Yeah, this is red. Alright, so this is red. Okay. But previously we used maroon, so let's stay with maroon then. So this is maroon. Or we can change the previous one, but doesn't matter. We just stay with maroon, okay? So the font color is maroon. And then the ID does not really matter. Okay, unless you want to change it, it's up to you, but it does not really matter. Now we need to specify which text box we want to control. We want to control him to validate the text box. So we go to control to validate and choose your text box. We want to control the interest rate. So it's txt interest rate, and then the maximum value of the interest rate is 20 and the minimum value is 1. So let's see, maximum value we want is 20 and the minimum value we want is 1. So we specify that. And then the type, we don't want user to key in string, we want user to key in number, so that's integer or double. Double is a better idea because you actually can have interest rate of, let's say, 0.5, like 1.5, 2.5, right? So we put double here. Okay, let's try to save. Let's do a file save all. Okay, and then we come over here and say we want to test. Sorry, we cannot reload. We just hit enter again here. So if we don't key anything, they will say interest rate is required. If we key in something that is too big, let's say we key in something like 45, which is bigger than 20, they will say interest rate must be from 1 to 20. Then we realize that, hey, this guy is too long, right? So we have to rearrange this a little bit. Let's just move this to hit enter. Okay, that looks better, I think. So if you key interest rate that says 45, they will say it's too big. If you say it's -1, they will say it's too small. And then if you say it is say 5, that's good. You don't see the error message. 5.5, that's good. You take double. Okay, so that is good for the interest rate. All right. So of course, the next thing we want to do is to create the required field validator and the range validator for the number of years for this text box. Okay, but let's say you want to change something, change your mind. Let's say you want to change this color back to red. You can always come back here and say, hey, I want to change this to red. All right, and then you can come back here and say, I want to change this to red. Of course, you can change other things as well. So it doesn't mean that these things are cast in stone. Okay, so you can always change, save all, and then you come back here and test. Okay, so you should work. So on and so forth. Okay, so now I want to copy the validator to this part. Okay, so let us first copy the require field validator. So let's right click, do a copy, and then right click, do a paste. Of course, the error message is wrong. So what we do is we select this, and instead of interest rate is required, we say the number of years is required, right? And then we have to change the variable to control. So control to validate, instead of interest rate, we have to change this to txt years. All right, let's test this. So let's do a save all and test. So let's key in the correct value here, and since we're testing the second one, so we want to see the error message on the second one. So here, number of years is required. Okay, so you know that this is wrong and it's working. Okay, that's great. So the next thing I want to test is to create a range validator for the number of years. Let's say we want the number of years from 1 to 45, and we do not want decimal places. So what we can do is we come over here and right-click, copy this range validator, come over here and right-click, paste this range validator, and then we can start changing things. The first thing we want to change, obviously, is the error message. Select that, come down here and change the error message. So you say that the years must be from 1 to 45. And then we have to change the maximum value and the type. So we say that, the variable to control is years, tax years. And then the maximum value is 45. And we do not want double, we want an integer, so we change the type. Okay, looks good. Do a save all and run this by enter. So let's make sure we have the correct interest rate and the number of years is required, and if you key in anything is bigger than 45, you get. Then between that you are good, but if you key in this, probably we should change the error message as well, because we should say that we only accept an integer or something like that. But for this simple demonstration, I think this is sufficient. Okay, all right, and then in the next video we need to do the calculate and the clear button. But before that, let's see what we have done so far. If you look at the source code view, the source view, to look at the source code, you realize what happened is when you drag all this onto the screen, they actually generate ASP code for you. Okay, and in theory, you don't have to drag. You can actually type all this. It will work if you type everything correctly, but just too much work. Okay, so Visual Studio actually help you to to work on this aspect. Alright, so that's a good place to stop. In the next video, we are going to work on the calculate and the clear button. Thanks for watching.